Now for our main featured story of the day, and that's Fidelity making a very bold prediction that the Bitcoin price will hit $1 billion per coin by the year 2038. In fact, the head of their macro, Jurrien Timmer, made this prediction. So let's break this down, and then we'll dive into our live Q&A. So here we go. Check it out. Bitcoin, as we know, the world's largest crypto asset, has witnessed impeccable growth in terms of both adoption and price. Facts. Despite 2022's slump, the community seems optimistic about the asset hitting greater heights. Back in 2021, during the peak of Bitcoin, prominent asset manager Fidelity, who is currently the second largest asset manager in the world with $4.5 trillion in assets under management, made a highly bullish prediction about the king crypto. However, the current scenario raises the question of whether the forecast remains valid and applicable. So let's break down this prediction and how they derived this insane number of $1 billion per Bitcoin. Jurrien Timmer, the director of global macro at Fidelity, put forth the notion that Bitcoin has the potential to reach a valuation of $1 billion per coin in roughly 2 decades, by 2038 to be exact. Specifically, around the year 2038, to support his forecast, Timmer employed a combination of models and charts with a particular focus on the stock-to-flow model and his own demand model. These analytical tools form the foundation of his primary prediction, and you can see those here, the Bitcoin supply and demand models as outlined here on your screen. The above demand model employs Metcalfe's law. I'm sure you've heard of it before. According to this, the number of its users grows linearly. A network's value grows geometrically. This means that the utility and adoption of Bitcoin are expected to grow more rapidly compared to its network of users, exchanges, ATMs, and participating retailers. Therefore, this model predicted the Bitcoin will reach $1 million by 2030. Let me know if you agree or disagree thus far. Now, in contrast, Timmer's own stock-to-flow supply model noted the event of significant price surges during each halving event. Consequently, when considering this model in conjunction with the 2 other factors, it foresees a Bitcoin price range of $1 million to $10 million per coin by the year 2030. Let me know if you're still with me. We also got to point out we have ARK Investors' Kathy Wood along the lines of the same prediction, predicting $1 million Bitcoin price as high as $1.5 million by the year 2030 for her bullish case. We also have the stock-to-flow and Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model, now projecting between $100,000 and $1 million Bitcoin price by the year 2030, or I should say even more accurately, post-2024 halving, so it can come a lot before that next decade. Anyways, fam, let's get back to this story, shall we? Timmer's demand model is more inclined towards reflecting the bottom of the Bitcoin price, but on the other hand, the stock-to-flow model seems to provide a better approximation for the peak of the king coin. However, it is worth noting that the disparity between these 2 models widens significantly beyond the year 2030. The reason behind this gap is expected to be the changing value of the dollar. So that's the kicker. What happens with hyperinflation? What's going to happen to the dollar value of Bitcoin? So let's break this down. How changes in the dollar value could influence the Bitcoin price action. Timmer proposes that the value of the dollar undergoes fluctuations over time when compared to other assets. For instance, if a dollar was invested in stocks during the 18th century, its present-day value would be $4 billion. Similarly, Timmer implied that if $1 million is invested today, it can grow to $1 billion in a span of 20 years. This further revealed that the purchasing power of the dollar has significantly reduced due to factors like inflation and depreciation. Thus, Timmer's statement implied that keeping a fixed amount of dollars for many years may lead to a reduced purchasing power due to the assets changing value. And over the last few years, an increasing number of companies are taking over the $1 trillion market cap. And as a result, it is foreseeable that in the next 2 decades, the concept of a $1 trillion valuation will become more common, so much that individuals themselves could be worth $1 trillion or more. The scale of numbers may even reach the quadrillion range. And let's stop right there. Currently, on paper, the 2 richest men in the world are like Elon Musk as well as Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Do you think they're likely to become trillionaires, or do you think someone in the crypto sphere, such as the CZ, who is notoriously known as the richest in crypto, will surpass their wealth and become the first trillionaire? Do you think it could be Michael Saylor, considering MicroStrategy now holds like 158,000 BTC on their balance sheet? Could it be Barry Silbert of GBTC, who currently control over 600,000 BTC? What's your thoughts, fam? Let me know in the comments right down below. So is this milestone still achievable for Bitcoin? Isn't that the million-dollar question? Let's discuss it. Despite Bitcoin's historical growth, it had recently faced a significant setback. Bitcoin's network activity had diminished and fallen behind the comparison to Cardano network. For example, the number of active addresses in the Bitcoin market has experienced a notable decline when compared to the levels seen in 2021. But personally, I think that is explainable. We had a bull run in 2021. Everyone and their mother was following Bitcoin and getting involved, especially around the time we hit those all-time highs. Now, higher network activity, like increased transaction volume or active addresses, is viewed as a positive indicator for the growing adoption of BTC. This can create a sense of confidence amongst the investors, potentially leading to rising demand and a positive effect on the Bitcoin price. Now, although Timmer's prediction may be considered far-fetched and lacks empirical evidence, it doesn't completely dismiss the possibility that Bitcoin reaches such levels. The concept of de-dollarization has gained status, as we know with BRICS, right? Shifting global attention towards alternative currencies. This shift in focus is expected to drive the demand for assets like gold and crypto to Bitcoin. And with BRICS pushing for the fall of the dollar, the BRICS currency and Bitcoin are expected to garner momentum. Facts fam, we know it's a given that the dollar is going to continue to be printed until the wheels fall off. And as a result, the purchasing power of the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to go down, while the purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to go up. So what are your thoughts on Jurrien Timmer and Fidelity's $1 billion price prediction? Recap, they're claiming between 1 million and 10 million by the top of the decade, by 2030. And then due to hyperinflation, like we're witnessing in other countries around the world, like in Argentina right now, that the US dollar is going to become virtually worthless. Hence why we're going to see the Bitcoin price, if it's still even comparable to dollars by that time, $1 billion per coin. What's your thoughts, fam? Let me know in the comments right down below. And if you gain value out of today's episode, the greatest compliment you can do, smash that like button, because it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, and it will help usher in mass Bitcoin adoption as they'll get more eyeballs on this show and on this channel. And if you gain value, be sure to also subscribe, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications, as I greatly appreciate each and every one's support. Massive shout out to everyone today in the live chat.